Tuition Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Pollution. Pollution is a direct or indirect alteration of the physical, thermal, and biological or radioactive properties of any part of the environment in such a way as to create hazard or danger to health, safety, or welfare of any living species. Pollutants are substances that cause pollution. We have the biodegradable pollutants, the non-biodegradable pollutants, and poisons. Biodegradable pollutants are organic products that are broken down by natural process, while the non-biodegradable pollutants are those things that cannot be broken down. For example, the glass, tins, plastics, cans, scraps of metals, etc. Poisons are heavy metals and their salt. For example, fertilizers, fungicides, uranium, etc. We have different types of pollution. We have the air pollution, water pollution, and land pollution. Air pollution is pollution caused mainly by airborne particles such as smoke, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and dust. Sources of air pollutants are motor vehicles, which releases oxides of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and lead compounds. We also have industries, which releases dust particles, lead compound, and sulfur dioxide. Mines, city traffic, and building sites release dust particles, while domestic fire and power stations release sulfur dioxide and smoke from wood, coal, oil, natural gas, and other organic compounds. Air pollution can cause bronchitis, it can cause silicosis, it can cause eye and nose irritation, for example, smoke. It can lead to poisoning, which can affect children's intelligence quotient, that's the IQ, and also nitrogen oxides irritate the lungs. To control air pollution, industries should be sited away from residential areas. Passing of waste through filters and absorbers should be done. Tall factory chimneys should be built. The use of lead-free fuels should be employed. And also, old cars should be banned. Water pollution. Fresh water is polluted through the discharge of sewage and other waste from farms and at times from industries. Marine pollution is mostly caused by oil spillage, industrial waste, and agricultural waste. The effect of water pollution is that 1. Sewage can contaminate drinking water. People hardly use water for recreational purposes because it's been polluted. Odors emanating from polluted water can be embarrassing, and epidemic diseases like cholera and diarrhea are common in polluted water. Also, excessive use of pesticides or fertilizers can drain into rivers to kill the animals. To control water pollution, adequate oxygen should be deposited alongside any sewage to be dumped. A task force should be employed to monitor water pollution. Biological control should replace chemical control to avoid pollution. Detergents may be used in checking oil spillage. Sewage, industrial and municipal waste disposal should be developed. Spillage should be avoided when loading and unloading tankers, and sewage should be properly treated before discharge. Land pollution. Most of the air pollutants equally pollute the land at the same time. The moment the plants are affected through absorption, man invariably gets affected after eating from the crops. Examples are lead compounds, fungicides, herbicides, old cars, tins, lorries, cans, bottles, etc. The effects of land pollution are 1. There is poor crop yield. A whole community can be poisoned from land pollution. 3. Refuse dumping can encourage breeding of pests, and the incessant dumping of refuse is an eyesore. To control land pollution, efforts should be made on recycling waste. The government should have a policy on land protection. People should be educated on the result of land pollution. Incessant dumping of refuse should be discouraged, and refuse should be incinerated. Renewable resources are those resources that are recoverable. For example, we have rain, plants, animals, water, air, food, and soil, while the non-renewable are those materials that are fixed and can easily be depleted. Examples are naturally occurring materials such as oil, minerals, coal, petroleum, tin, gas, copper, etc. There are different methods of conserving natural resources. They include the water conservation method, soil conservation method, forest conservation method, wildlife conservation method, and fisheries conservation method. Water conservation method include 1. By irrigation to reactivate especially areas that lack adequate water. Adequate control and use of groundwater should be employed. Construction of dams and reservoirs to obstruct flood using available water for irrigation and generation of hydroelectricity. Water should not be allowed to spill all over the towns, for example, burst water pipes. Research centers should research into adequate forms of recycling water and sewages. Soil conservation method include 1. The control of erosion using method ranging from terracing, strip cropping, planting of cover crops, preventing overgrazing, the use of mulching and breaking of wind to avoid wind erosion of the soil. The soil fertility must be maintained by fertilizer application, manure application, and the use of cover crops. Trees should be planted in order to check erosion as well as desertification. Government should enact laws to control soil erosion. Forest conservation method include 1. Adequate forest management approach should be encouraged. Through reforestation, people are made to plant 2 trees where 1 is cut. Maintenance of forest reserve should be encouraged. There should be strict laws guiding forest management. Consistent soil conservation to encourage adequate forestation should be encouraged. And encouraging industries to use other materials aside from wood in furniture making helps to conserve forest. In order to conserve wildlife, hunting is to be limited. More national parks should be established. There should be strict laws governing wildlife. There should be provisions for artificial stocks, and game farming must be adopted. Fisheries conservation method are 1. Water pollution must be avoided. Construction of fingerlings multiplication centers should be encouraged. Fingerlings should be stocked artificially, and dams, reservoirs, and ponds should be constructed. Conservation agencies. We have the National Electric Power Authority, the River Basin Development Authority, Ministry of Agriculture, Environmental Sanitation Authority, Nigeria Conservation Foundation. Ministry of Agriculture has the Department of Fishery, Department of Wildlife Conservation, Department of Forestry, all under it. Importance of conservation. The importance of conservation can be seen in forest conservation, wildlife conservation, water conservation, mineral resources conservation, and soil conservation. In forest conservation, rainfall is encouraged. It checks desert encroachment. Natural species are preserved. Timber products are preserved, and it checks erosion as well as preserves the soil. Wildlife conservation is a source of protein. Natural species are stopped from going into extinction. It provides raw materials for industries, for example, the bones, hides, and skin. And also, tourism and recreation are encouraged. Water conservation provides food and protein. It is a source of generating electricity. It provides water for agriculture and irrigation. It provides means of transportation. Water is made available for domestic use, and it provides recreation, for example, games like swimming. In mineral resources conservation, energy is made available. Foreign exchange reserve is generated. Raw materials are made available for industries, and it is a source of spice. For example, it produces the common salt. Soil conservation helps to maintain its fertility. It harbors organisms. It provides raw materials for industries, for example, clay, limestone, etc. It provides nutrients to plants, and it is a base for plant growth. Problems encountered in conservation include poor public education and management, subsistence farming method, for example bush burning, inadequate finance, overgrazing, constant cropping and fishing, and also short supply of land.